a frappe. Don't mind if I do.
Would you say frappe makes you happy?
I wouldn't, but thank you. I'm Erin with the Brains Report, and today we're going to talk about the Vibofrost Smart Slushie Machine. And this thing retails for about $160 on Amazon. And it's super easy to set up and make drinks out of the box, like right away. You do need to like rinse it out once, but like after that, we took it out of the box and we had it kept at a, it had to be flat though because there is a coolant inside. So fortunately it was already flat. If you take it out of the box and you're like doing this with it, then you have to let it sit for about 2 hours or something like that. But we were able to take it out of the box, rinse it out, and then throw in a couple of cans of Vernors and make slushies right away. And if you're not from the Midwest, Vernors is the best, I forgot to take this off, the best ginger ale, according to everyone here. But I like it, it's good. And it makes a delicious slushie. It does have 5 presets for different frozen drinks you can make: slushie, frappe, milkshake, cocktail, and wine.
What about daiquiris?
That would be a cocktail.
Thank you.
And there's also a thickness adjustment here, so you can adjust how thick you want your frozen drink to be. And we'll get into kind of things that might affect that in just a minute here. So we did test all 5 of the different presets to see how they did. We did slushies with, like I said, Vernors. We did it with Cherry Coke Zero. We did it with Kool-Aid. And then my favorite was watermelon, where I just blended up some watermelon. Really good because you can't have anything solid in here. And then added a little bit of water. And then sugar optional. I did it without sugar and just did watermelon. And it made delicious slushies. I brought them to a friend's kid's birthday party. Everybody loved them. And I wasn't giving the kids a bunch of extra sugar, but they were getting a special treat. So that was cool. Frappes are my favorite. That's my favorite one so far. I've made so many coffee frappes. I just make a cold brew coffee using our coffee machine. And then you add, yeah, it's got a little preset for cold brew. It's great. And then throw in some half and half and something with sugar, or you can do allulose instead, and we'll talk more about that again in a minute. But we, you just put it all in there, push the button, and in about half an hour or so, you have yourself a lovely drink that gets you zooming. Milkshakes are cool because you don't need any ice cream. You just need whole milk and your heavy whipping cream and some sort of a flavoring like caramel syrup, chocolate syrup, strawberry syrup, and you've got yourself a milkshake. So that all is pretty cool. Then if you wanted to go the alcohol route, you've got cocktails that you can make. We made a whiskey and Coke, sugar-free. And then also the wine, you can just throw in a bottle of wine, like a rosé or a white wine. We did a white wine. And you can also add stuff to it. They have a recipe for lemonade and a white wine. We just did regular white wine just to see how it came out, and it was great. All right, so let's talk about the recipes. It comes with this really nice recipe book, and it is pretty great. Like, as far as the recipes go, there are a lot of them in there. They're easy. They don't require too many special ingredients, and each come with 2 sizes, either 2 to 3 servings or 4 to 6 servings. So, and then they estimate the time for you too. And there's a really cool part in the back that tells you how, so yeah, we can look through it here. We've got mocha frappe, pumpkin spice frappe, all the cocktails, and then there's a whole section of sugar-free recipes, which is really nice. And then at the back here, you can create your own. Now, one thing I thought was funny is that one of the biggest letters in here, the dirnks. You can make your own dirnks. But it does, despite that glaring typo, have a lot of, like, these recipes are solid. I did a mix of recipes from this section and from the make your own section that gives you kind of just an idea of like how the different serving sizes and what you want to make sure to have in there as far as the amounts of things. And it was pretty easy as far as it goes. As far as the recipes go, there's a fair amount of science that goes into creating frozen drinks, and so I had to learn a lot about that. So sugar content affects the frozen level, so you have to have a certain amount, like a base minimum of like sugar content in order to be able to have it successfully freeze. And if you don't have that, so when I was doing just the straight watermelon, it was on the lower side of the sugar content. It started making some noises, and so kind of knocking around a little bit, it was struggling. But when it had some sugar in there, it made it no problem. So that was interesting. For the sugar-free recipes, they say that you can only use allulose as a sugar substitute, and I've honestly never used allulose before, and I haven't tried it with anything else like a stevia or anything like that, but I believed them when they told me I could only use allulose, so that's what we tried. And it worked fine. And our camera person had the sugar-free stuff, and how would you say it tasted with the allulose in it?
It tastes pretty good, I guess. It was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a sugary taste, it was that fake sugar.
Yeah.
But still, it's sugar-free, so for people with dietary needs for that, at least there's an option in there. And then
like my Cherry Coke Zero, like it didn't taste like my normal Cherry Coke Zero that I usually drink. Like, and not just because it was slush-like, but because of the allulose, and also you put some lemon in there for some reason.
That's what the recipe
and
said.
I got really angry, and I'm sorry for that.
You drink it. Another thing that affects whether or not it freezes right is the fat content in dairy products. So if you were trying to make a milkshake without the heavy cream or the whole milk, you're trying to do it, say plant-based dairies or something like that, it probably wouldn't do as well. It'd get foamy or wouldn't have enough, of the fat to hold it together. Alcohol content also is one of those things that affects it. So it can't have, I guess for the alcoholic drinks, it says minimum of 2.8% and then max of 16%. So you can't go overboard with your booze. You're not going to be able to turn a martini into a slushie because it just won't ever freeze correctly. And if you notice how it works, you've got just kind of this barrel where all the coolant is, and then it just kind of makes all of the frozen drink go around it. So you can kind of watch it come together too as it's doing that, and see where the thickness is. And some things, like if it's got too much sugar content, it can also freeze too much, and then it'll, you can see it getting too thick and kind of, this is just right personally, I think. And I used honey instead of, sugar for this one, and I've used a lot of raw sugar, and that's worked too. So it's just about the sugar content. And like I said, fruit has sugar content, so that works too. Another thing is you can't put anything solid in here. So if you wanted to have, say, a mix-in for a milkshake, like, you wanted a cookies and cream milkshake or frappe, you'd have to put in those cookie chunks afterwards and mix it in after you poured it out of the machine, because you're gonna gunk it up with anything solid. So that is one thing, and it's different than also when you're looking at like an ice shaving machine or something, because the slushies at max thickness, they can come out real thick. It's like a bowl of, almost like shaved ice. And shaved ice, you take ice cubes and put them in here. Here, you only put in the liquid that you're gonna have come out. There's no ice in it involved at all. So that's nice. You don't have to have ice added to everything. So let's talk about the time it takes to make these drinks. It's dependent on a few factors. Number one, how much you're making. What's the size of the batch? Are you doing like a, small, just 2 to 3 servings, or are you making a full to the very max as many servings as you can. And then also are your ingredients chilled. And if you pre-chill your ingredients, the recipes, the time for that is pretty accurate. So when it says, for a cocktail, it's going to take 30, or a slushie, 30 minutes, and for 2 to 3 servings. If you have the wine pre-chilled, then it's going to take 30 minutes. If you aren't, which I'm bad at, like, oh, I just want to throw it together. I don't want to, wait around for my big thing of watermelon juice to get chilled. I just blended it up. Then add about 15 minutes or more to the total time. So they do say, in the recipe thing, and I thought this was really smart, like, start your frozen cocktail an hour before you plan on serving it to people. And that's if you're having like a party or something like that. Like if you're planning on, having it ready for people, an hour would be great. And that gives you time to make sure that it's the right thickness, and also if your ingredients are chilled, then it's got time to actually chill them up. So.
And they want to get drunk right away to be social.
Yeah, well, okay, so I brought this thing to the park to my friend's kid's birthday party. Because, what better way to, test it out than to see how it does with a large group of people. And I put it in, I had to, transport it flat and then plug it in to a portable power station in the park, and then pour in the watermelon juice, and then wait. And then the kids were just coming around, just circling like buzzards, waiting. So it was a little bit of like, oh, no, you just gotta wait. And it'll tell you, it has, a nice little LED or screen display here that is touch screen, and it tells you when it's done. It beeps, and then it just keeps it cool. And you can adjust the thickness here. You can't do anything else though, because it locks it, which is really nice. So that if you do have a bunch of kids coming around making their own slushy stuff, wanting to do stuff, they're not going to accidentally mess up your whole setup and the way it has it, keeping it cool.
Would you say kids mess things up in general?
I'll say they learn, and that they don't know everything, and so yes, they mess things up because they don't know. As far as it goes, you can keep these excess drinks, like you pour yourself, like you saw me pour a serving, and then it'll just stay like this for as long as you want it to. And it's not too loud, and it doesn't take up that much energy using it. About 100 watt hours per hour, right?
Yep.
And that's, you said, about a couple of cents?
Yeah, like 2 cents.
So not
on your
very,
electric bill.
Yeah. It's not a super huge drain on your electricity just to keep it running. So that's nice. As far as the cleaning though, let's talk about that, because say you did want to try making a couple of different drinks for friends at a party, you hope that it was a very long party, because it does take some time. It's funny, this picture on the front that's obviously photoshopped in, it has like 4 different drinks on it, and it's like, there's no way you would be serving 4 different drinks unless you had 4 of these machines set up. In between, you do need to clean it, and the cleaning is not my favorite. It's not an easy clean. It does have a self-cleaning function, so once it's completely emptied of the drink that you've made, and it doesn't always completely empty. That's the other thing, especially if it's thick, you'll have like kind of glops coming out, and then there's still some in there and there's no way to get it out. But you pour hot water in it, and then you do the cleaning cycle where it just basically does this, but it doesn't freeze anything. It's not cooling it down. And it does that for 4 minutes, and then you open it up to let the water out, and then you take it apart, and then you have to wash it by hand, which is how I've done it. And it does come with this funky little brush, but that still doesn't get into all the nooks and crannies necessarily. It is also dishwasher safe, so there is that. But if you were to then want to make another drink real quick, you could just rinse it out. Say you were just making different flavored slushies from different juices or whatever, just rinse it out, go ahead and do that. But if you're going from dairy to a slushie, or you're going from alcoholic to non-alcoholic, you want to do a full clean of it so none of that residue's in there. And it's not an easy thing to hand wash. It is unwieldy, and also, it takes a little bit of time. So there is that. So it's not an easy clean. Yes, camera person.
Would you say that if you had a real party house, that you should have like 7 or 8 of these machines? Like people should buy that many to keep the party going in the summer?
So as far as it goes, I mean, if you were really into the frozen drinks and really wanting to make it a party house, yeah, you'd want to have multiple. However, you know, there are other things out there too that have a larger capacity. That's really a great segue into who is this for.
Thank you.
First, I want to just say one more thing about the cleaning, though. If you don't clean it, say you leave watermelon juice in there overnight, which I did, which was a good test. Not because I'm just really bad at remembering to do things at the end of the day.
It's why we're good product reviewers.
Yeah. It can stain it. It can get really hardened up into the nooks and crannies and gum it up. So that is not something you want to do. Like, you want to clean it right away. It's not something you want to put off until later. So back to who this is for. This is for people who want to make drinks, frozen drinks at home. Hello, over here. Hello, yeah?
Sorry.
Or for a small party. This does not make batches that are going to be big enough for retail use. So if you're, you know, a cider mill that's looking to add frozen, you know, cider slushies to your menu, this is not it. This is for home use. This is definitely a kitchen counter kind of thing, not in a retail situation. It just doesn't make batches that big. And there are retail, like, you know, bigger batch ones. We've got a friend that owns, that has a pizza place that they make frozen cocktails, and it's a lot bigger. This is also good for people who have a frappe addiction, because if you do the math on it, say you're getting a frappe every day, this pays for itself within a month. Like, they're expensive, and if you just get all the ingredients at home, it's so much cheaper. And then this is also good for people who just like to have fun gadgets and be able to be like, oh, hey, I've got this fun thing. We're the kind of people that we have a cotton candy machine, and we have, you know, a shaved ice maker, and we love to play with fun things and, like, be able to make fun things when we have people over. So this is definitely fun for that, and it's been really fun during the summer. It's so hot to be able to have a nice, I didn't even say the chai frappe that I made. Oh, so good. But to have like a nice cold beverage is so nice. Other options? Let's talk about those. We haven't tested any other frozen drink makers, but I did look it up. Chefman has one called Iceman, and it is
like Wim Hof.
Yeah, it's $350, and then the Ninja Slushi goes for around $300, and they both have kind of a similar setup. If you look at them, it has a screen here. It has a similar capacity. I believe this is 88 ounces, and they're both either 88 or 90 ounces. And then they also, you know, they have the screen. They have, like, even back here, it all very much similar. But this is about half the price. So it seems to do about the same thing. It's got a similar capacity. But if you wanted to go with a more brand name, again, we haven't tested them, so we can't say for sure if they're any better or worse. So,
don't you feel like people should maybe subscribe to our channel so they can see it when and if we do test other options?
That's a great idea. Subscribe and like this video. Maybe put a comment below. If you've got questions, ask your questions, or just comment something nice about, like, maybe you like the way I'm doing my hair this summer, or what's your favorite frozen drink so I can try some new recipes. If you have a question, James will answer it within about 24 hours because he's really good at that stuff. He's the rememberer. And then, yeah, subscribe. Look forward to future things that we can show you and fun gadgets. And in the meantime, stay frosty.